Good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever time it is that you're watching this. Hello guys, I'm so sorry this is not going up on Friday. I actually filmed this breakdown yesterday, but I was just not happy with it, so I am here again today. It is Sunday, filming this for you. So as always, it is now a breakdown slash review of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, episode 4. I'm loving this season so far, guys, but without further ado, let's get into the video. First things first, how touching was the callback scene to Bucky when he is in Wakanda and he is going through making sure that the brainwashing, obviously, with his arm and that it's still not affecting him, and him tearing up at the end of that was just so touching. I nearly broke down and cried. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful scene. I loved it. Very, very well done, Marvel. 2 thumbs up for me. Well, that was 1 thumb, but 2 thumbs up. Let's see, let's what else. I thought it was interesting they brought up about the 8 hours and then they were gonna come for Zemo. Obviously the Wakandans are pissed, and rightfully so. I think it's kind of shady that Zemo basically was talking to those kids to find out more about Danya, and that he gave them the Turkish Delight candies, which gave me severe Candy Snatcher vibes from JG Bang Bang. If you know that scene, it's terrifying. It's haunted me to this day. That's the Child Snatcher, in case you were curious. Enough said. And basically them telling him, he's like, oh, well, they're bad men. I still feel like there's part of something maybe that we didn't get the full conversation there. Obviously, we know he decides to keep it from them for the majority of the episode until the end. Obviously, then when Sam goes to talk to Carly after the funeral of Danya, it's going very well, but you know, John Walker just can't settle down and wait the 10 frickin' minutes. He's got to barge in there and ruin everything, because that's what John Walker likes to do. Obviously causing Carly to go into a panic and get mad, and basically realizing that Sam and all of his discussion he just had with her doesn't really mean anything. Let's see what else. I thought it was really funny when Sam says to Bucky about him doing his stupid head tilt, which is funny because Bucky does have that cute little head tilt that he does. Love that. It's hilarious. I thought that was a really good moment. It's obviously clear in this episode, if we didn't know before then, that John does not want to reason with Carly. I mean, she's already pretty far gone at this point, so I kind of understand where he's coming from, but not totally, obviously, because John's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. But I don't know where it's gonna be from there. My camera battery is flashing, dang it. And she's back with a fresh battery and her notebook. I had the notebook actually before, but then I had to step away and get my camera battery, obviously. So moving back into that, I also think it's important to note that we all know Zemo's thoughts on serums and how he just completely destroys all of them, but that one that John Walker picks up. Obviously, it gave us big vibes that we didn't actually see John take the serum, but it's very much implied that he already has done so, since Sam looks at him when they're mid-battle with Carly and says, what did you do? I also think it's important to note that Soups actually brought this to my attention. If you're not following him, please go ahead and follow him. He's on TikTok. He's amazing. He's great. He broke it down in this week's episode, and I thought it was a really good point to make, and I want to make it in here, obviously crediting him because he is the one that said it initially. That when Hoskins gets killed by Carly, obviously aka Flag Smasher Group, it's very important to note that that is the only person that has kind of kept him grounded. He doesn't really have anyone else that he feels it kind of keeps him, I think, in check, which is what Soups was saying. So he's not actually a villain. He's just somebody that doesn't have, I mean, I mentioned this yesterday when I was filming this, but it kind of reminds me of the dichotomy of the Punisher, right? So obviously Frank feels that he has nothing else to live for since his family and everyone is gone. That is why he went the path of killing people. It just goes to show the two sides of vigilantism. Obviously this is something that superheroes have struggled with for a long period of time, and they focus on that heavily, obviously, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, especially on the Netflix series like The Defenders and all of that. If you haven't checked any of those out, please do stop this video and go watch them right now. They're amazing. I don't know why you wouldn't have, but just wanted to insert that in here as well because I thought that was a really good tie-in. And thanks, Soups, for bringing it to my attention. I do think that's a good point, that he is not necessarily a villain. It's just that there's no one there to stop him. It also is important to note that the world is watching is a callback to Black Panther that was also called to my attention by Soups as well. And Nikki Marina, she's on TikTok. She's amazing. You gotta go check her out, guys. They both brought it to my attention that was actually when T'Challa goes after, I'm blanking on his name right now, Ulysses. When he goes after Ulysses in the square and they stop him and say, hey, the world is watching. And that is exactly the same situation that John Walker was put into, but there is no one to hold him back and to tell him not to do it, and thus killing the Flag Smasher guy. So it is definitely a breaking point and turning point in that episode. I also wanted to point out the aspect of Sharon, and I definitely think she's working for the power broker. I know that many people have theorized that as well. I think it's a strong possibility. Because what else is she doing and who else is she talking to? So I cannot wait for next week's episode. Let me just check and make sure I didn't miss anything else. Oh, I also think that it was a really strong kind of like ethical question they asked in this episode with the would you or won't you take the serum, and Hoskins basically telling him, obviously before he gets killed, telling John that yeah, of course I'd take it. And I know John at this point, we see him kind of grappling with it, and you know, it's kind of like the callback to Captain America. It only enhances what is already good in you. So obviously Steve Rogers, top tier, you know, would lay his life on the line for anybody. It kind of just emphasizes and brings out what's good and bad in your character, and if you're already kind of got those power hungry tendencies, which we have seen John have, it's not really, you know, and it just goes to show you that authority figures, sometimes you have to be careful who you give power to, because those individuals, it's only certain people that can be entrusted with that weight on their shoulders, because some people just snap and they get power hungry and they get greedy and they lose it, like John did in this last episode. So I'm really excited to see what next week brings. Oh my gosh, I cannot talk today. Tell me what you guys thought of the episode. I've got a nose itch that's driving me insane. Tell me what you guys thought of this week's episode, what you think is going to happen. Is Sharon dealing with the power broker? Because Loki, I think she just is. And did John take the serum? Loki, I think he already did. But we will just have to stay tuned for next week to see what is... Oh my gosh, I forgot the one thing. Oh, the fact that the Wakandans took off Bucky's arm. Absolutely hilarious. And Sam being like, did you know they could do that? And he's like, no, that was great. I love that. Total amazing moment. Those women, oh god, I just love them. Like the warriors of Wakanda, super fucking cool. Love them so much. Anyway, without further ado, that is the end of this video. If you have any questions or anything else that you want to drop down in the comments below, please let me know. Let me know what else you want to post on this, on this channel. I can't talk. I have some things that I'm thinking about doing this week. I'm sorry guys, my nose is driving me nuts. But I'm going to cut it here since I am rambling at this point, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy the rest of your week. Have a good morning, good evening, good night, whatever time you're watching this, guys. I look forward to talking to you in the next one. Bye.